album, Media Thief. I'll shout Illy Beans out as well. Go follow Illy Beans. This is an album by a South Korean artist named Media Thief, a folktronica artist. It's only 4 a.m., Illy. I know that feeling. Let's capture this window. How are you, by the way, Illy? Hopefully you're feeling okay. And how are you, Rosie? What's your day going to be like today? Oh, wait. Maybe I should go like this. And then the window capture thing here, I just change it to Media Thief. Oh, come on. No. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I have to do it manually. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Bing bong, bing, bing bong. Bing bong, bing bong. Oh, this has lyrics. Maybe I need translation. I wonder if there's a translation of this album. My day is going to be studying video games. Nice. What video games are you going to be playing? I wonder if there's an English translation of these lyrics. Maybe not. English lyrics. I mean, I'm fine with not understanding the language, but I found with Rosalia, understanding the language helped me understand the feelings that were going on. Might check out Valorant today. Interesting. How was? Do you think you'll continue with Hunt Showdown? Imagine being into that. Hey, you know, don't yuck somebody else's yum. I know, right? Crazy. Hey, Remy. Yeah. Remy's here. Remy's been listening, and Remy's been in here. Alright, so this is going to be our source for lyrics. So let's get into it. Alright, let's get into this album called Crumbling by Media Thief. Rosie says, I think I might sometimes. It was pretty fun, and I feel like I only got started with it. Yeah. I definitely do not jive with games like Valorant or DBD or Hunt Showdown. Any sort of competitive first-person shooter, I'll play if you force me to. But hey, get into it. Yeah. Also, I will yuck everyone's yum. Hey, you know what it is. Where's get into it yuck from? Anyway. All right. Crumbling. Let's start with the track Why. You played CSGO with us? Yeah, as I said, I will only play it if people force me to. When I was playing CSGO with my friends, I was doing it because people were playing it. But I would never play it by myself. Never, ever. You force me by being cool to hang around with. It's a very new corner of the video games verse, so I want to get to know it more. Yeah, I'm both not very good at it, and it stresses me out, and I don't find super enjoyment in it. But I found it enjoyable just because it was funny playing it with friends. I just wouldn't play it by myself. No. And I wouldn't play it, for the enjoyment of the game. I'd play it for the enjoyment of hanging out with people. Which I found very, very enjoyable, by the way. People go join Rosie's community. She is having movie nights and, what's it called? Games nights. Rosie said, yeah, I wouldn't play CSGO by myself. But games like, what would I play by myself? But the games like Jackbox and Crab Game and stuff, I do enjoy those ones because the playing field is level for me. Like it's like people are somewhat generally the same skill, and that's like people like me, who I'm fine generally. If you take an average of games, whether I'm good at them or not, I'm not very good at them, and I've been playing for a while. It's just my reflexes, my ability to make sense of situations in that context quickly and stuff, and control hand-eye coordination is bad in sports as well, and my emotions get into it and I get anxiety. Same, I suck at most video games for me? Interesting. Yeah, then we are part of that club. I feel a great affinity with For example, Boo. Boo and I are pretty similar in that regard. I watch Boo struggle with games. I'm like, I feel you. I feel you. That's me. That's me. Unless I can like take my time to think about stuff, like anything turn-based or where I can pause a game. Oh yeah, yeah. Even that, I find it hard to strategize in games. But I enjoy games that are not very difficult. But I sometimes enjoy games that are difficult as well. It's interesting to think about. Wait, why did it do that? It stretched it across like that. I didn't want it to do that. There we go. I'm trying to face my anxiety with some games that the social aspect with randoms might not be for me, but I don't want to shun it completely before trying. Yeah, yeah. I feel like you and I, Rosie, will have different things we are anxious about when it comes to games. For instance, my anxiety about games would be intensified by playing something like Dead by Daylight. Um, I would find that game incredibly anxious all the time for some reason. I feel. Anyway, that's a sidetrack. um, Among Us is a great game that I would get very stressed by. CS:GO, basically anything first person multiplayer. Um, yeah. But anyway, we're gonna go into this album, the Crumbling, and let's get into it. Starting with the track "Why." what a rush of sounds. So lush. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. That's really soft. It's soft, and then it looks like this this album cover up here. It's like beachside, like Mother 4 OST goes hard. Yeah, it's very soft and nostalgic, soaring. Oh, I like that a lot, and it has lots of different modes, and it goes through all these different phases. Welcome in, Cam. Welcome in. We're just listening. You want to pop in and say hi? I'm guessing you have to do some study or something like that. You got work? Okay, have fun at work, Cam. I hope you have a great day today. And yeah, you got weekend after. Oh, you're a nighttime worker. Okay, okay. I hope you have a good night shift. Do enjoy yourself as much as you can. Yeah, good to see you anyway, Cam. Night worker. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully it won't be too bad, and you'll be able to just just chill a bit, or have a good day, good night rather. Anyway, yeah, but that track, I love it. I love the sonic experimentation, and this lyrics here. It's like, why is it broken? I step on the fog, even if it's dark. Do you hand the gloved hand behind the black curtain? Now, it's interesting because this is a translation. Oh, the mist and the mist. As the sun rises and flows away, the ebb tide escapes. Thinly memorized memory, you can feel it. Is this even faint? So I guess it is sort of like this picture up here. It's very environmental, very sort of, you feel the mist, you feel the sunrise, the ebbing and of the flow and the tide. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's go on to the next track. The next track is, my rating of that track, I think I'd give that like a 9.0 out of 10. I very much like that. Are These Chains is the next one. What a track. I like that even more than the last one. That's a 9.1 out for me. What a journey. Sheesh. There's like seven different modes that they go through. I could swear that if they made like a film soundtrack, it would be so it would add so much to the film because they evoke these feelings, these strong feelings through emotive, I'd say, like whimsical, not quite, maybe not quite whimsical. It seems like it rushes you away on a dreamy but yet grounded sort of, it's grounded in these acoustics, right? The acoustic guitars, but then they have these really skittering arpeggiated synths that going left and right, panning left and right, and then it feels like it rushes to the next part where it changes a chord progression. It feels that for me helps create the feeling of swooping through the air and going like in this this album cover is a great addition because I just look at that and I imagine I'm there just like swooping to the next part. Maybe you're flying over like a town. The film I'm thinking of is, where's the film where the cat guy holds the hand? No, it's not the cat guy. It's Howl's Moving Castle, where the dude is holding that girl's hand and she like floats over the town and they're kind of like flying. Is that Howl? Is that Howl? I need to look that up. Howl's Moving Castle flying. Is that the where they're walking over the town? Oh, yeah, this thing. wait, I'll share it. I'll share the screen. That when she's, it's not. Hopefully, that's not too much of a spoiler, but everyone should see this film. Howl's Moving Castle. But yeah, they like fly over the town while she's there. There we go. They're holding hands, and she's like, they're like, he's holding her hand, and they're like flying, and her feet kind of move. It felt a bit like that. That sort of whimsical feeling. Yeah, this movie's great. Anyway, we'll go back to the where's my right seed? Yeah, that was great. I love that. Remy said, "Oh, I only heard Howl," and I was about to cheekily ask for that guy with the moving castle, but I was actually talking about that. Yeah, the kind of feeling of being led Howl by the hand by Howl and walking in the air above that town. That's what I was thinking of when I was listening to that song. Anyway, the next one, I don't know how to translate this, but it's Gamoon Du. Apologies for my pronunciation. Let's go. Oh, interesting. I think my enjoyment of that was an 8.8. I love that. Probably not my favorite out of the three so far, but I think it mostly might be because it was, the same drum beat throughout. The other ones had a lot more variation in drums and sort of modes, but this one was still very nice, and I think it would also be enhanced if I did know what the lyrics as they were being spoken. But it seems to be like flowing outward, the star is under my eyes, nothing is out, flowing forward, nothing is out there, flow, not caring if it will sink in the previous valley, the water flows. Then again, the symbology? No, the symbol of the water is repeated. It flows endlessly, memory and melody flows. So the water is like the memory and the melody, and it flows far away. It would be fun if the ending sounds with the intro to now horror music, plot twist inside of an album. Well, who knows? It might be. It might be that the next song is a little bit darker. Who knows? Or it might be lighter again. We can only know if we listen to the whole album, which we will do. But I must say that it reminded me of the Beatles or Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, just the way it was like boom dun 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 dun. No, not that. Boom dum 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 dum. I don't know. That was a little bit more like into my heart. That's a different style. It wasn't what I was quite going for, but it's like the jangly guitar and the kick snare, kick sort of. I don't know what that genre is. Is it jangle pop? I'm not sure. Either way, it sounded a little bit like Beach Boys. And it was a little, it might be my lesser favorite of the album, but it's still within the aesthetic. It just doesn't warp as much as the other two. For me, let's go into Curve and Light. That one didn't quite hit me as well as the others. It might hit others, but it didn't quite hit me as well as the others. I'm going to give that one a 7.0 in terms of my enjoyment of it. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the intensity of the synths that were being wah, wah, and the buzz of it, but it didn't quite feel as soft or as intricate or as well developed as the others, in my opinion. I still think it's impressive, which is probably why it was 7 for me. League says it was chill, but nothing more, which isn't a bad thing. I don't think I didn't not enjoy the song, but for me it seems a step below, or a couple 2 to 3 steps below what the other songs were, which were amazing and very mind blowing to me in some ways. I feel like this one wasn't as mind blowing, and yeah, it still fits with the album, but there's just I think it's just some synth choices didn't agree with me, and it didn't wow me as much as say the first 3 tracks, particularly the second one. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that one, but everyone has different opinions, so let's go on to the next one, Crumbling Together. Wow, what an interesting track. That was seemed to be the epic of the album. That was the rest of the tracks are say 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes. That was the only 9 minute track. So that and it has the album title in it, Crumbling. This one was Crumbling Together, and the lyrics seem to be about "O thirst, wash away the grime. O rifts, fill up my short breaths, fill it up." A tower being built up again, a land where salt has taken root. Why are they building it up again? Oops, oh, I need to let you see what I'm seeing. Sorry. Why are they building it up again? In these stagnant waters, why on earth would they erect pillars? More and more the day divides, and can't help being drawn to the wall illuminated by the igniting moonlight, towards the mound of stones again today. An answer that doesn't exist echoes out, and even if I step over these footprints again, so I can bring down this tower with the power of empty hands, I'm shaking. So there's this, for me, I'm getting this feeling of vulnerability when a knowledge of something happening within nature, um, a wondering why are they building it in these stagnant waters? I can't help being drawn to this wall. Um, and an answer that doesn't exist echoes out, and even if I step over these footprints again so I can bring down this tower with the power of empty hands, I'm shaking. So it's like this idea, I can do it, but I'm shaking, I'm scared. Dip your feet in the water, make everyone purified together. The tilting sound of bells heard off in the distance. There's a lot of bells in the album as well, crumbling together. There's the line that I suppose the if the artist has this concept of crumbling as the central piece of the album, then crumbling together seems to be the central lyric with the tower we were building. So some people are building a tower and crumbling together, um, casting off the seeds the ghosts set down, cutting off all the branches the patterns cultivated, and crumbling together. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. The ghosts maybe being ancestors. Are we casting off the seeds the ghosts set down? Are we cutting off all the branches, the patterns that they cultivated, and are we crumbling together? I'm not sure if that's what it's implying. Or dip your feet in the water, make everyone purified together. The tilting sound of bells growing louder and louder, crumbling together with the tower we were building. Maybe the tower is a negative one. Maybe the tower represents something negative, like a mankind's resistance, mankind's rebellion, and we are crumbling together. And maybe the crumbling is a good thing. Maybe the album sees the crumbling of mankind's efforts and pride, and melding into nature as like the process, a good process. Casting off the seeds the ghosts set down, and cutting off all the branches the patterns cultivated, and oh, thirst that will cleanse me, rectify the dirt, and oh, rifts that will fill my breaths, water for the hand of temptation, and oh, void that will fill me up. It's interesting. I'm thinking either the tower is a good thing or a bad thing. Either the tower represents the bad of mankind and we should all blend with nature. We should all be more in one with nature instead of building this tower of pride, I guess. Or maybe this is from the perspective of someone who's forgotten what it's like to... Maybe this is perspective of like our society is crumbling, everything's crumbling, it's all going to be nothing in the end. But either way, there is a crumbling of a tower which represents, I guess, mankind's efforts. So mankind's efforts are crumbling and we are crumbling with it, and we need to be part of the ocean. That's what I'm getting. So there are several interpretations. Let's see what the rest of the album sort of implies to us, because yeah, I'd need to read a bit more into that and get probably proper actual translations. But I'd say that's an 8.6 out of me musically. 8.5, I'll be prudent, because there were parts that didn't excite me as much. I know that probably conceptually it might be the most telling of the album to be like, hey, this is what the album's actually about. But I wouldn't listen to it by itself, I feel. I don't think it has enough experimental, fun energy like the first two tracks did to me to warrant. Maybe I'll give it 8.4 even. I'm not completely blown away by that one. But I do like what the meaning that it's bringing. Anyway, let's go to the next song, Protector. Nice. The songs in quite cleanly in this album. Yeah, in quite cleanly. They don't really like blend into each other and stuff like that. But I like that one. I still don't think it reaches the imaginative intro two tracks, which really got even three tracks, which really got me excited for the rest of the album. But I feel like these ones aren't as sonically adventurous. Maybe they're lyrically adventurous, but I don't feel like they go this they go as ham as the first three tracks. But it's still nice. I'd give it like an 8.0. It's very nice. It's very nice, but those first three tracks just blew me away and sort of set the tone. But I wish the rest of the album was like those first three tracks. We'll see if these last two ones sort of go there. We're gonna go into the next track, Dirt. So that was the second to last track, No Answer. No, sorry, Dirt. And I couldn't find lyrics for that one, but yeah, floating around in the synth sounds. I don't know whether it's my mood or the quality of the sounds or the way that they transition to different parts. I'm not really being wowed as much by the latter half of this album as I was by, say, the first three tracks, but I'm still finding it inventive and nice. I'd give that one an 8.3, but the first three tracks were quite mind-blowing. I was like, oh, this is awesome, and then maybe it's just over time that it becomes a bit more familiar, or it just, those first three tracks are a bit more adventurous, but these ones seem a little bit more low-key, I guess. Testing. Oh wait, that's a bit loud. I was just making sure that things weren't too loud. Anyway, welcome back, Rosie, and let's go to the next track. The last track, No Answer. Let's see how they finish off this album. A short track, 3.5 minutes. Nice ending, nice ending. I did like that. That would get like a 8.1 from me. Rosie says, yes, I see what you're saying. I definitely have musical artists that I can give huge value to, but yet don't tune into. Yeah, yeah. And it is kind of like this. I think the ones that I'll add to my list would be the first two tracks if I were to even listen back to them, if I felt like listening to them once in a while. But this isn't the type of music that I would put into my playlists. My playlists that I listen to, say pop music, are very vocal heavy, very direct, and very uh, I usually listen very actively when I'm listening to my tunes I like. So I like intense stuff, but this doesn't stop me, I suppose, from listening to this album over here and saying something like, I listened to it once and I really love the experience. Never going to listen to it again, but I love the experience. Kind of like watching a film. A lot of the vast majority of films I watch, I only watch once, never return to them again. Only if I really, really, really love them do I return to them to watch them again. And even still, some of them I don't want to watch again. So I feel the same way with albums. Some albums I say, this is one of the best albums I've ever listened to. Like one the other day I was listening to was a track, Black Country New Road, an album by them that I listened to once and from start to finish, and it was a great album, and I was like, this is fantastic. I love it. Like 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I'm never going to listen to any of these tracks again, but I enjoyed the experience. Welcome in, Angel. Hi, Benny. What album are you listening to? You did miss it all. Yes, it's a Korean album, South Korean album called Crumbling by Mid-Air Thief. Was neo-psychedelia, folktronica, psychedelic pop. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to shout out Angel Flux really quickly. How's your day? How's your day gone so far, Angel? I see a lot of people were over at PAX, and it was cool to see Spec and Acer over there, along with people like Key and Slammer and all those folks. Just seeing that one photo and some VODs and stuff, it was amazing. I was able to watch some of Key's stream live. Good, just work and such. Nice, just working. That's cool. Late work. Oh, yeah, he told me about meeting Key, and I watched the VOD earlier. Nice. There was a photo on Twitter that I saw as well of them all. Rosie says, or even in personal music experience, e.g. my favorite band and I do not return to them at the moment as much at all, but their value still is high for me. Exactly. It's the memories that you have in your head of an experience you had. And I feel, some of the best albums, I've only listened to them once, but that's getting a bit sidetracked as a statement for this. No, that's exactly what I was going for as well. Saw you in chat. Yeah, I was hyping it up. Angel, did you redeem something? Was it you that did the cartwheel? No, Spec did the cartwheel. Spec redeemed the cartwheel. Can't remember if you were Spec. Yeah, Spec was there, and Spec was like, is it alright if I redeem a cartwheel now? And I don't think he got a response from Key, and then he just, what's it called? He just redeemed it. Oh yeah, I clipped it, yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, my mic is a bit loud. Sorry, apologies for that. Anyway, that was the album. I would say the first 3 tracks I was entranced, but then by the end it started to sound a little bit sameish, but it was still very high quality. But I was, like, those first 3 songs I was transported by. Thanks for the shout out. Awesome. I'm actually going to continue. I'm going to play a game called Matchmaker Carol that my friend asked me to play. Have any plans for the long weekend? 3 of my friends have COVID and are isolating. So I don't know what we're gonna. I think I'm just gonna be online. Saturday night, tomorrow night we're watching 2 movies online on the Discord. Anyone who wants to join in, they can. We're watching Pride and Little Women. That will be at like 8 p.m. New Zealand time, Saturday night. Yeah, I don't usually just say, New Zealand time, but hey, there it is. Playing a friend's game, Matchmaker Carol. This is what we're going to do now, yeah. Yeah, feel free to come along if you'd like. Invite anyone you wish to my Discord. The Discord is free and available. Enjoy the game. Thank you, Angel. Are you going to go off to work now? That's fine if you are. It was good to see you, by the way. Hopefully things are going well. Hopefully plans are going well for, overseas trips and all that kind of stuff. How's everyone chat doing? How we're doing? I downloaded the game and we're going to start it up. It's a puzzle game. Someone said, hey, I'd like you to play my game if that's okay. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I will. Well, I actually haven't told them I will yet, but I'm just going to play it and then post it to them. Oh, I know that another Korean band you should listen to. Which one is that, Potato Hands? I'll go to my recommendations list. Albums down here. Requested albums. It's pretty obscure. Oh my gosh. Never mind.